Good morning. My name is Claire Huntington. I'm the Associate Dean for Research at Fordham Law School, and I declare the 112th Diploma ceremony in session. Thank you. Will everyone please stand for the invocation by Father Michael McCarthy, Vice President for Mission Integration and Planning.
As we begin, let's remember our Muslim brothers and sisters as they observe the holy month of Ramadan. May their practices of prayer and fasting bring them many blessings, and may their fidelity and perseverance be an example to us all who hunger for justice, righteousness, and peace. Let us bow our heads and pray. O source of all justice and right, the ancient book of Psalms begins by proclaiming the great blessing of the law. Blessed is the one, the psalmist says, who does not walk in the counsel of the wicked, nor stand in the way of sinners, nor sit in the company of scoffers. Rather, the law of the Lord is his joy, and on this law he meditates day and night. He is like a tree planted near streams of water that yields its fruit in due season, whose leaves never wither, and everything he does prospers. Grant us then such prosperity. Give us then the grace to find joy in the law day and night. Focus our hearts on the cause of righteousness and heal our hearts of self-righteousness. Turn us again and again to the common good and save us from the temptations of selfish gain. Strengthen us to advocate on behalf of those most vulnerable, and spare us the self-indulgence of licking our own wounds. For those who have completed their course of studies, give them joy and a sense of purpose to seek justice in all they do. For members of their families, give them a sense of pride proper to the moment. And for members of the faculty, deepen in them a sense of satisfaction and fulfillment as they see today the fruits of their calling. In your holy name we pray, amen.
I would like to introduce Elizabeth Krause, a member of the graduating class, who will sing the National Anthem. You're welcome to take your seats. And we will now hear from Dean Matthew Diller.
Father McShane, Provost-elect Jacobs, Father McCarthy, members of the University Administration and Board of Trustees, esteemed colleagues and faculty members, Judge Pamela Chen, families and friends of the graduates, and most of all, members of the Fordham University School of Law class of 2019. I join Dean Huntington in welcoming all of you to Fordham Law's 112th diploma ceremony. Graduates, today is your day. We celebrate your achievements, your accomplishments, everything you have done at Fordham Law School that has led you to this moment. Throughout your time at the law school, you have experienced moments of triumph, of challenge, of jubilation, of struggle, and above all, of growth. Never forget that being a lawyer is serious business. The responsibility you bear is great. You are entering the legal practice and profession at a complicated time where the need for lawyers in our society is greater than ever. People will depend on you to advocate for their rights and for justice, and you will need to problem solve and reach agreements with those who see the world differently than you do. Of the many wonderful conferences that we held at the law school this year, my mind keeps coming back to one, the trial reenactment of Korematsu v. United States, sponsored by APALSA and organized by our alumnus, Judge Denny Chen. The program wove together photos, documents, and excerpts from court proceedings to recount the story of Fred Korematsu and his fight for justice. A number of you participated in this reenactment. Fred Korematsu was born in California to immigrant parents. After the U.S. entered World War II, Korematsu tried to enlist in the military, but was turned away by officers who discriminated against him due to his Japanese ancestry. He was fired from his job due to his heritage. After the bombing of Pearl Harbor, President Franklin Roosevelt signed an executive order authorizing the U.S. military to remove over 120,000 people of Japanese descent, the majority of whom were American citizens, from their homes and force them into American prison camps throughout the United States. Fred Korematsu chose to defy the order and carry on his life as an American citizen. He was subsequently arrested and convicted. He and his family were sent to Topaz, Utah, where the government had set up one of 10 incarceration camps for Japanese Americans. Represented by the ACLU, Korematsu appealed his case all the way to the United States Supreme Court. In December 1944, the High Court ruled against him in a 6-3 decision, declaring that the incarceration was justified by the Army's claims that Japanese Americans were radio signaling enemy ships from shore and were prone to disloyalty. The court called the incarceration a military necessity. The Korematsu decision has been justly condemned as a low point in American jurisprudence, a moment when fear triumphed over principles of equality and liberty. 35 years later, in 1980, President Jimmy Carter appointed a special commission to review the facts and circumstances surrounding the incarceration of Japanese Americans during World War II. During this time, a political science professor and a researcher stumbled upon archived documents, including memos written in 1943 and 1944 by Edward Ennis, the U.S. Justice Department attorney responsible for supervising the drafting of the government's brief. As Ennis began searching for evidence to support the Army's claim that the incarceration was justified, he found precisely the opposite, that J. Edgar Hoover of the FBI, the FCC, the Office of Naval Intelligence, and other intelligence agencies categorically denied that Japanese Americans had committed any wrongdoing. These official reports were never presented to the U.S. Supreme Court. They were intentionally left out of the record, and in one case, destroyed by setting the report on fire. Ennis warned his superiors that the omission of these facts could be considered suppression of evidence, but Ennis was overruled. And at argument, the Solicitor General told the court that no one in a position of responsibility disagreed with the conclusion that mass internment was essential for national security. Ennis spent the latter part of his career seeking reparations for Japanese Americans who had been interned. A team of pro bono attorneys successfully reopened Korematsu's case based on government misconduct. And on November 10, 1983, Fordham Law alumna Judge Marilyn Patel of the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of California formally overturned Korematsu's conviction. It was a great moment in U.S. civil rights history. As Korematsu and our nation did in the last ceremony, we too face many pressing issues today. We too are dealing with the toxic combination of anxiety and concern for national security mixed with deeply embedded racism and fear of those who are different, as well as other challenging questions of equality, privacy, religious freedom, and free expression. People will look to you to confront these challenges. Our society will look to you for leadership. What is striking to me about the Korematsu case is that many people, many lawyers, played key roles in the whole matter, for better and for worse. From the majority opinion of Justice Hugo Black to the blistering dissents by Justices Roberts, Murphy, and Jackson, identifying the internment policy as abhorrent to our constitutional values and as the product of racism. Looking beyond the justices, dozens of lawyers at government agencies and at the ACLU worked to attack and defend the policy of mass internment. Some took extraordinary steps to protect the basic rights of Japanese Americans at a moment when they were labeled by the public and by the government as traitors. Others, caught up in an intense moment of national fear, violated basic precepts of legal ethics that you have all been taught. Still other lawyers worked to reopen the case, enabling Fred Korematsu to receive vindication decades later. You will work on matters that affect people directly in personal ways, and people will depend on you. They will trust you. Decide from the start, from day one, that you will be the kind of Fordham lawyer who deserves this responsibility and earns this trust, understanding that there will be moments when it is difficult, even excruciating, when it will be your responsibility to tell people things they do not want to hear, to offer advice that is not welcome, to advocate for that which is unpopular or costly. It is worth it. Our society depends on it, and your reputation rides on it. On its face, Korematsu involved basic freedoms for thousands of people. Its importance was evident. But in practice, you will make decisions every day. Sometimes the stakes will clearly be high, but often the consequences will only emerge over time. Make each decision carefully and responsibly, because you never know what small action you take will have a big impact. As your dean, I know that you are ready for this challenge. We on the faculty have worked with you and watched you grow over these past years. Indeed, you have already begun to make your impact felt. Throughout your time at Fordham Law, you have displayed a devotion to service that has made all of us proud. In fact, I recently learned that as a class, you have performed over 152,000 hours of service during your time at Fordham Law. Congratulations. This past year, we celebrated 100 years of women at Fordham Law School. Many of our conferences, symposia, and honoree ceremonies have been focused on celebrating the many achievements of and learning from our Fordham Law alumni. The history of women at Fordham Law is the history of fortitude and excellence, and this success will endure as future women graduates continue to look up to alumni like Geraldine Ferraro, the country's first female vice presidential candidate, and Eunice Carter, one of the nation's first female African-American lawyers and one of the first prosecutors of color in the United States. Many of you played key roles in planning and implementing the events. For the first time in its history, the Fordham Law Review Online published an issue authored entirely by Fordham Law women. The issue was posted on March 8th to coincide with International Women's Day. 5 pieces were penned by Fordham Law professors, 2 by Fordham Law alumni, and 4 by current students. The Fordham Law Women's Student Group held its first ever symposia in collaboration with all 6 Fordham Law School journals for a day of discussion on legal issues that disproportionately affect women through the lens of each journal's specialty area. And many of you conceived of and participated in the inaugural Stein Scholar Symposium, which focused on law and the Me Too movement. Many of you advocated for those in need, whether through work in the clinics, student groups, or internships in public service jobs. Some of you in the Federal Litigation Clinic won a victory in the Second Circuit in a case claiming discrimination under the Fair Housing Act. In a footnote to the summary order, the Second Circuit judges wrote, quote, "We commend the Fordham Law School Clinic for its fine advocacy in this case and believe it would be beneficial for counsel to continue representing the plaintiff at the district court level." Some of you in our new Tax, Poverty, and Justice Clinic worked to successfully amend the law that has led to the suspension of over 24,000 New York State driver's licenses because those drivers owed $10,000 or more in past due taxes. 37 of you, working with the Feerick Center for Social Justice, traveled to the Mexican border to provide assistance to refugees seeking asylum. Thank you for your many hours of service. I ask you to reflect on how far you've come. Remember the wisdom not only of your teachers, but of so many distinguished guests to the school, including 5 Supreme Court justices over the past 3 years. Ruth Bader Ginsburg's visit will live on in perpetuity in the documentary RBG, and perhaps her next visit will win the Oscar. At Fordham Law, community is a central value. It is important that we not only support others, but also acknowledge and appreciate the support that each of us has received. You have been supported by a community of people who believe in you and who have nurtured your success. I'm talking, of course, about your friends and your family, those who love you and who celebrate your every achievement. I would like to ask you, our graduates, to stand and applaud the beloved members of your family, your husbands, wives, partners, mothers, fathers, siblings, children, grandparents, and others who have been with you every step of the way. On behalf of the faculty and administration of Fordham Law School, I thank you, the class of 2019. Everyone at the law school marvels at your many talents and energy. We take pride in your accomplishments. We admire you, and you inspire us to do our best. We are in awe of all that you have achieved and cannot wait to see how you will go out and lead in the legal profession. And remember that we are in your corner. We, together with the great community of Fordham Law alumni, are your cheering section, your home team crowd, or as we say in Yiddish, your mishpacha. In sum, we are your people. As you set out on your path, we will be rooting for you and we'll be here to support you every step of the way. Members of the class of 2019, congratulations.
We will now hear from Father Joseph M. McShane, the president of Fordham University.
Thank you very much. Ms. Jordan, Dr. Jacobs, Dean Diller, Dean Emeritus Furyk, Judge Chen, members of the administration and faculty, families and friends of our graduates, and members of the remarkable class of 2019. Ladies and gentlemen, as we prepare to send our graduates out into the world, I'd like to take a few moments to make a few acknowledgments. First, I'd like to thank the members of the faculty for all that they have done for our students. Wise mentors and shining role models, they have challenged and cherished their students to achieve a degree of excellence and greatness that they did not know that they were capable of before they arrived on campus. Therefore, on behalf of our students, I'd like to thank them for embodying the best traditions and the ideals of the legal profession, and for infusing in the hearts of our students a deep love of learning and a true passion for justice. I'd also like to thank Judge Chen for agreeing to serve as our keynote speaker this morning. Finally, under the heading of acknowledgments, I would like publicly to thank Dean Diller for the tremendous work that he has done and continues to do for the law school. As you may know, since Dean Diller had a cameo appearance in the Ruth Bader Ginsburg documentary, he is now a member of the Screen Actors Guild. And he's renegotiating his contract with the university even as I speak. Most of all, however, I'd like to congratulate the graduates on completing their course of study in the law school. This, my friends, is a day that you have been looking forward to with eager longing since the minute you entered the law school. It is also the day on which you have fulfilled your parents' fondest dreams. By receiving a Juris Doctor degree, you become both a doctor and a lawyer at the same time. They're delighted. What a coup. But please, no surgery today. Now, my dear friends, members of the class of 2019, you are an historic class. Now, of course, it could be said with some justification that every law school class at Fordham is an historic class. Fair enough. Without denigrating any other class, however, I really believe that you are truly an historic class. And why? Well, my friends, all I have to say is 2016. You began your law school careers in 2016. You began your legal studies, therefore, during the semester that was punctuated by the election of 2016. That means something. In fact, it may mean far more than merely something. No matter what your political affiliation or political leanings, I think that you would have to admit that that year was and is a year to conjure with. It was also an election to conjure with. As an event that we wrestle with every day. In other words, it was either your good fortune or your bad luck that the ancient Chinese prayer, or is it a curse, "May you live in interesting times," was heard and answered. In any event, it was your lot to be law students in the interesting times that have followed the presidential election of 2016. What has that meant for you? And how has it affected the profession that you are entering into and to which you will dedicate your lives? Now, I have no way of examining your hearts and minds. Therefore, I cannot say for sure what impact the election and its aftermath have had on each one of you personally. I'd be willing to bet, however, that no matter what your party affiliation, the election has heightened your desire to become lawyers. I would also be willing to bet that it has caused you to pursue your studies with a greater sense of focus and purpose. And so you see, you really are quite an historic class. You began your law school studies during a period of upheaval, and you enter the legal profession in a time of unprecedented challenge. As for the impact that the election has had on the status of your profession, It has raised the profile and the standing of the legal profession in most remarkable ways. And how could it not? After all, since the election, we have become a starkly polarized nation. Fissures and fault lines have appeared in American society. We have forgotten how to speak with one another. Questions of rights, justice, ideals, and values have risen to the forefront of our national consciousness. These same issues have been debated in the media every day. They have consumed us. They continue to consume us. And before you all, I have to confess, I get whiplash reading the editorial pages of the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal back to back. God help us all. Those intellectual encounters are like witnessing what Shakespeare would call titanic struggles of mighty opposites. I get my sports coverage, by the way, from the Post. There, the only titanic struggles are between the first-place saintly Yankees and the unworthy Red Sox. Is Dean Diller wincing yet? Because the questions raised were so serious, they sent us, all of us, rushing back to our founding documents and especially the Constitution for guidance. These deep dives into the Constitution, in turn, found us looking to you, to lawyers, for insights and sound judgment. Therefore, it is not at all surprising that lawyers, who already held an important position in American life, now occupy a crucial role in our national life. They really do. After today, you really will. We look to you and your colleagues for wise counsel and solid ground on which to base our opinion and to thread our way forward as a nation. Now, what I have said about the importance of your profession may cause you some anxiety or be an invitation to pride, I don't know which. But either way, I understand your reactions. At the same time, however, I must tell you that as a prejudiced layman, I love using that expression, a layman dressed the way I am, that I am proud and grateful that you will be part of the teams of savvy, honest, and wise lawyers who will help our nation find its footing again. Why? Is it because I have to say this on your day of days when, surrounded by your family and friends, you receive your law school from our university? No. I say it because I mean it. And why do I mean it? Because I know the kind of education that you have received from the faculty of Fordham Law. Therefore, I know that you have received a legal education that has been marked by the characteristics that have always distinguished Fordham Law. Rigorous classroom instruction, a bracing emphasis on ethical education, and the challenge to live professional lives marked by the service of others and of the common weal. Intellectual rigor, integrity, service. Use them. Let your lives be marked by them. Let people be impressed by you because you have them. Seek truth in all you do. You're Fordham lawyers. Therefore, champion the rights of the poor and defend the dignity of the human person from any and all attacks on any and all fronts. Be men and women for others. Be men and women whose lives are marked by competence, conscience, compassion, and a deep commitment to the cause of the human family. If you rise to these challenges, my friends, you will truly be sons and daughters of Fordham Law. You will be men and women who can do the world a world of good. And may God bless you all. May He prosper the works of your hands. Come back often, stay long, share stories, build pride, and then go back to service. God bless you all.
Professor Danielle Capra, the Reed Professor of Law and the Chair of the Student Honors and Prizes Faculty Committee, will announce the Eugene Keefe Award.
I'm announcing the Keefe. I'm announcing all the awards. Just the Keefe Award. Well, this is an improv, but the Keefe Award goes to my colleague Ted Neustadt, who is here, and he's ready to make a speech, and I don't want to steal his thunder, so Ted, go for it.
When I was 21, I got my first job out of college, and it was a job working on the Tony Awards television broadcast. And it was my job during the dress rehearsal for the show, before the broadcast that evening, it was my job to pretend to be the winner of the Tony Award during the dress rehearsal. So they would announce the winner, I would run up, give an acceptance speech, get an award. So over a 10-year period, I won 135 Tony Awards, including Best Supporting Actress in a Musical 5 consecutive years. I think that's a record, I'm not sure. The reason I mention it is I won all these phony Tony Awards, but this is the first award I've ever gotten in my life. And I have to say, since I found out I was getting this award, I've felt sort of funny about it because I don't entirely understand why I am getting it. It feels like an award I'm getting for showing up every day and doing something that I have loved doing for the last 30 years. So it seems odd to get an award for that. I don't know who to thank for this award. I don't know who voted for me, but I do have a couple of people to thank for the last 30 years. Primarily, my assistant for the last 15 years, Emmy Huertas, who is just a joy to work with and does a lot of work that I get to take credit for. The director of the legal writing program, Rachel Vorspan. In fact, if I was thanking people, I'd just say Rachel Vorspan, Rachel Vorspan, Rachel Vorspan. My friend, my colleague, my mentor, who 33 years ago next Wednesday, I interviewed for a job teaching legal writing. And I said to her at the interview, look, I'm a partner at a law firm, but I just quit my job to try and be an actor. And she looked at me and said, you are just the guy we need to teach legal writing, because you are going to have a lot of free time. So thank you for making that ludicrous hiring mistake and everything in between. But look, at the end of the day, I'm a school teacher, so the people I have to thank the most are the students I've been lucky enough to work with all these years. Look, it's a graduation ceremony, so I'm supposed to say something inspirational. Follow your dream, find your passion, do the thing you love. I don't know that I can say that I've done the things I've loved or my passion, in that 40 years ago when I was at my law school graduation, I do not think I was sitting there thinking, oh my God, let me spend most of my adult life saying things like, no, it's F period, no space 3D, and yet it's F period space sup. I mean, how crazy is that? So I don't know that I have followed my dream, or that I do what I love, but I sure as heck do love what I do. And I hope for all of you that you find that you find something you love. And look, it took me 4 or 5 careers to find that. It wasn't easy. It took a while. And it took me 4 or 5 careers to find this community. And it even took me 4 or 5 years as a member of the community to realize how lucky I was to be a part of it. And for that, I am really, really thankful. Because at the end of the day, the people on this stage, the people out there, you are not my family, but you sure have given me a home. So I've had some disappointments. The big one, that Game of Thrones finale, what was that? Oh my God. I realized a couple years ago that I'm never going to win that Tony Award. But I also realized over the last couple weeks when I think about it, and I'm almost embarrassed to admit this, and I sure was surprised to realize this is better. Thank you.
Danielle Cook, the president of the Student Bar Association, along with her vice presidents, Valerie Sakalaridis and Michael Andrew Benison, will present the Teacher and Adjunct Teacher of the Year awards.
Wow. They told me how many people there were, but I didn't realize until I just stood up here in this moment. My throat has never been so dry, my hands have never been so wet. But good morning, Dean Diller, Father McShane, honored guests, esteemed trustees, alumni, faculty, family, and friends, and good morning, graduates. My name is Danielle Cook, and I have had the honor of serving as a 2018-2019 Student Bar Association president. But more importantly, I am a member of the graduating class of 2019. I would clap. As I sat racking my brain about what I should say this morning, for some reason, an image from my childhood kept appearing in my head as I desperately searched for words to put on a paper. Every year, at the end of the year, my mother, who was my personal superhero for many reasons, would plan a day where she would pick me up early from school and we would head to Six Flags Great Adventures. Every year, I would look forward to riding the biggest roller coasters in the park, to eating Dipping Dots, which for whatever reason I could never find in the grocery store. But most importantly, I look forward to playing the carnival games so that I could come home and brag to my friends and cousins about the trips and the prizes that I won. Unbeknownst to me, until recently, one trip to Six Flags nearly 20 years ago has served as the perfect explanation of what I have learned and what you have all helped to teach me and each other over the past 3 years at Fordham Law School. This year in particular, in which I must have been about in second or third grade, I was dead set on winning a Tweety Bird basketball. Because in my eyes, that was the only way to prove that I had, one, made a trip to Six Flags, as only people who went to Six Flags had basketballs with Looney Tunes on them, and two, it was the only way to prove that I was the best basketball player, as was evident by my tangible prize in the form of a basketball. After a long day of riding roller coasters and filling up on junk food, my moment had finally arrived. I walked up to the basketball game only to find out that I was a tad bit too short to shoot the perfect shot. And so I did what any logical 8-year-old would do. I climbed to the top of the counter and launched the perfect shot. Only instead of launching the perfect shot, I instead tumbled head over the counter into a pile of deflated basketballs and stuffed animals. Now, for those of you that were at the 100-year Fordham Law Women event, in which I talked about turning stumbling blocks into stepping stones, I do not want you to get confused here. In this story, I was literally the stumbling block flying over. But in a blink of the eye, people from all over the park walked over to ensure that I was okay and asked if I needed help. The young teenager working behind the counter did not scoff or laugh at me as I struggled to get back over to the other side of the counter. He instead encouraged me to pick myself up and shoot the ball again. And he also encouraged me to practice until I became better. And while I did not win a Tweety Bird basketball in that year, I did gain a great memory and great lessons that are still etched in my head nearly 20 years later. This experience is analogous to my experience in law school. When I think back to my experience in law school, I will not brag to my friends and cousins about my trip and the prizes that I won. I have fallen many times during law school, and in life for that matter. And while after today, my degree will ultimately serve as tangible proof of my trip to law school, which, as you can imagine, does not gather as much excitement as going to Six Flags. It is by no means the only evidence that I was the best student or the best aspirant attorney, nor is it indicative of me being in the best position or the most qualified. Rather, is it an indication of my access to more. And so I thank all of you for helping to remind me that it is not about the trip or the prizes that we won. It is about the memories and the lessons that you build along the way. During these past 3 years, I have gained amazing friendships and mentors, but more importantly, I have created amazing memories with amazing people and learned 3 life lessons that I hope will still be etched in my head 20 years from now. The first being that when you fail, you must pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and begin again the work, even when your fall is not so graceful and over a basketball counter. The second lesson I will take away is that you should make a goal to be better, not the best. Best is a label. It is something that someone else decides for you. Strive to be better. Better means that you are in a state of continued growth, a state of continued learning, a state of continuous evolution, where change is your only constant. And finally, when you see a fellow human down, help them. It doesn't matter if they are black, brown, or white, gay, straight, or pansexual. It does not matter how they use gender to identify. It does not matter if they are old and poor or rich or young. It does not matter if they live in a red state or a blue state, or if their place of birth was not in the United States. Law degree or no law degree, we as humans are uniquely situated to help one another. Many of you in this room have gone above and beyond to help me. You have all helped me tap into my history and my consciousness as a Black woman and a future attorney. You have enriched my legal education with your perspectives, experiences, and efforts to maintain a culture of serving others. We have all taught each other how to overcome in the face of adversity. We have taught each other that if you don't like something, change it, and if you can't change it, pivot and create a new lane until you can accomplish your goal. We have taught each other how to get things done for ourselves, our communities, and for our country. We have taught each other that when we use our voices, people will listen, and that when we lead, people will follow. My experience at Six Flags many moons ago and my time at Fordham Law School has taught me that we must continue to learn from the past, live in the present, surrender to the future, and continue to build memories and learn lessons. And so, to the class of 2019, today I honor all of you, today I celebrate all of you, and tomorrow I hope you continue to carve a path of representation, justice, understanding, and equality in the world, and that you help others to continue to get better. Thank you so much for allowing me to serve as your SBA president. It has indeed been the greatest honor of my life. Thank you so much. Now, for those of you that dozed off a little bit, I apologize, but I have to talk for a few more seconds. I know you're thinking, why is this girl still standing up here? But I would like to take a few more moments of your time to present the awards for Teacher and Adjunct Teacher of the Year awards. The Teacher of the Year is presented to the professor students identify as a master teacher. It is presented to a full-time professor selected by students for his or her excellence inside and outside of the classroom and for exhibiting the highest level of dedication to her or his students. This year's Teacher of the Year award goes to Professor Tanya Cateri Hernandez. In her nomination of Professor Hernandez, a graduating 3L Lena Weedy wrote, Professor Tanya Hernandez is all that one could ask for in an educator. In a field where we are taught to be objective, to strip the law of its material impact on the most marginalized people, Professor Hernandez encourages us to use our experiences and passion as a lens through which to create change. She is kind, thoughtful, and brilliant beyond measure. Every student who is lucky enough to have worked with Professor Hernandez is a better person and an advocate because of it. Another nominating 3L, Diana Imbert, wrote, for the students who come to law school with their communities on their backs like backpacks, Professor Hernandez conditioned us to fight through moments when we feel like we need to unpack to keep moving. She has pledged to students the law from multidimensional perspectives and is training students to be lawyers that will go out in the world carrying in our hearts and minds all people in America, the undocumented, the marginalized, the celebrated, and the voiceless. She's a Professor of the Year now, but a hero always. For all that you do, Professor Hernandez, and all that you contribute to the Fordham Law community, we, the graduating class of 2019, present you with this year's Teacher of the Year award. Congratulations.
Buenos días. Buongiorno. Bonjour. Sabah al hari. Bokotov. Chon ashim. Ohayo gozaimasu. Ekaro. Good morning. I'd love to go on welcoming you all in the rich multiplicity of languages present here today, even with my bad pronunciations. But I have been told that I only have 3 minutes. So before Professor Katsoris comes out and beats me with the head with the cane, I need to keep it short. But if you follow me on Twitter at Professor TKH, we can continue chatting. With my remaining 2 minutes, Let me first thank you for honoring me as a teacher today. This touches me in a way I will never be able to fully express. So let me instead send you off with some essential truths that I hope will be helpful throughout your careers. Like, for instance, the only Mary J. Blige album you will ever need to purchase is her classic, What's the 411? This is an essential truth. Now, about your careers as lawyers. Today, of course, is a wonderful moment in your lives, and you should rightfully celebrate all the hard work that brought you here today. But one of the downsides of celebrating our achievements is that it tends to place the focus solely on ourselves and not all the people who have been supporting us in big and small ways all along. I urge you not only to remember and acknowledge these people as part of your success, but to always see yourself as connected to others at your most revered, so that in your intense moments of self-doubt or invisibility that life will bring your way, you can continue to feel connected. Releasing yourself from the notion that your success comes from your work alone brings great freedom. It brings the freedom to admit that you don't have all the answers, and in turn, to ask others for help. It can also help to release you from tying your sense of personal worth to the accumulation of visible indicators of success. Now, you may ask, if your whole life you have been taught that your achievements are who you are, how are you to go about finding value in yourself separate from your achievements? Here's how. Get outside yourself. Try to help people wherever you find yourself in whatever way you can. I am not saying that you should refrain from making money moves. I myself greatly enjoy a designer handbag. What I am saying is that when you center yourself around trying to be helpful in whatever small way you can each day, then you will know you have value just as you are, and the achievements will take care of themselves. How? Without your concerted effort to try to climb higher and higher? This is how. Just keep taking the next right step, one step at a time, simply seeking to be part of something that matters to you in whatever small way you can. And you will not only be an incredible lawyer wherever life places you, corporate boardroom, CEO, legal services lawyer, wherever, you will feel that you matter, even if the world at large never tells you so. And if you won't take my word for it, believe Mother Teresa, who once said, "None of us can do great things alone, but we can each do some small things with great love." Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to love on you all one last time as an entire class, because as Mary J. Blige tells us, remember, I'm the only album that counts. Love without a limit.
Hi everyone, it's me again. I apologize. I promise this is my last time speaking for the rest of the day. The Adjunct Teacher of the Year Award is presented to an adjunct professor selected by the students for his or her excellence inside and outside of the classroom, or for exhibiting the highest level of dedication to his or her students. This year's Adjunct Teacher of the Year Award goes to Professor Jerry Goldfeder. In his nomination of Professor Goldfeder, graduating 3L Ryan Partello wrote, and I quote, "Professor Goldfeder is the definition for what an adjunct professor should be. Someone who is understanding and recognized in their field, who aims to impart their knowledge and love for their subject matter to their students. Professor Goldfeder teaches his class with humor and candor and is one of the most professional and approachable teachers I have ever had. He goes above and beyond for his students, organizing events at the law school and trips to Washington, D.C. to discuss issues we learned about in class with members of Congress. He is also greatly involved with the student groups like Fordham Law Advocates for Voting Rights and the Student Bar Association, when he was kind enough to help organize and moderate a panel on the critical issues of partisan gerrymandering and inviting congressmen to speak. For all that you do, Professor Goldfeder, and all that you will contribute to the Fordham Law community, we, the graduating class of 2019, present you with this year's Adjunct Teacher of the Year Award. Congratulations.
Danielle Cook, is she terrific? I wish I had heard her remarks when I graduated law school. It would have inspired me and set me on a different path. I really appreciate it. She's been a terrific student, and she and the rest of the SBA leadership are to be congratulated. Thank you very much for this honor. I love teaching. I love being part of the Fordham Law School community. So receiving recognition for doing what I love is very gratifying. I have two messages for the graduating class this morning. Take chances and save the Republic. What I enjoy most about teaching is being asked tough questions for which I do not have a ready answer. I know that sounds unusual because one would assume that professors like to be viewed as all-knowing, but of course we are not. When a student raises a new issue, whether it's on target or an outlier, I have to think harder, and in the process, I learn more. I rarely prepare a lecture or stick to any kind of script. If I did, I might not leave room for a student's new question or issue, and I wouldn't be as engaged with my students as I should be, and that would be awful, and frankly counterproductive to the teaching process as I view it. And though I want all my students to learn the intricacies of my subject, election law, what I really want them to do is improve their thinking skills, become more incisive in their arguments, and learn the importance of self-confidence. My view is that this is best accomplished through an honest give and take between students, between and among students, and myself. This teaching philosophy is a good model for all new lawyers, even though most of you will never go into the teaching field. Think about it this way. Do not plan your lives so carefully. This also might sound counterintuitive. After all, being a good lawyer requires preparation and more preparation and more preparation, knowing all the details of your case or your deal. But if you plan your career or your life too carefully, you will miss out. You will miss out on opportunities, on new ideas, on unexpected thoughts and feelings that you didn't think you'd have. That's why the experience of love is so powerful. You never know when you're going to feel it, or how you're going to feel it, or with whom. The same is true about your career. Take chances. Be open to new opportunities. Think out of the box. Don't be afraid or reluctant to try something new or different. You will be better off for it in your profession and in your life. In a word, take chances. That's my first message for today. The second one is save the Republic. As a teacher of election law, I would be remiss not to address this. Our country's next presidential election is almost upon us. It's not partisan to acknowledge that the state of our nation is fraught, that the rule of law is being compromised. In 1787, when Ben Franklin famously said that he and his colleagues created a republic, he also expressed concern whether Americans would be able to preserve it. Indeed, it's been incumbent upon every generation to do just that. to make certain that our democratic institutions are robust, that our republic is preserved. Through all these years, and despite social and economic upheaval and even a civil war in our country, and despite all of our struggles to make this a more fair and just nation, our republic and the rule of law has pretty much survived. So whomever you support in the next presidential election, this graduating class has a solemn duty to be involved, to make certain that our constitutional democracy is preserved. I am counting on the Fordham Law School class of 2019. I am counting on you to take leadership in this historically important task. Our democratic institutions and the rule of law must be preserved. So there you have it. Take chances in your career, in your personal life, and save the republic. Congratulations, and God bless all of you.
Judge Pamela Chen, it is my distinct pleasure to invite you to come forward with your faculty sponsor, Associate Dean Leah Hill. I also invite Darlene Lucio Jordan of the Fordham University Board of Trustees, Father Joseph McShane, President of Fordham University, and Dr. Dennis Jacobs, University Provost-elect, to join us for the conferral of your honorary degree.
You're on.
Throughout her distinguished legal career, Pamela Chen has been a staunch advocate for justice, ensuring that invisible, powerless members of society are treated with fairness and dignity under the law. Judge Chen was confirmed in 2013 to the United States District Court for the Eastern District of New York. She is the first openly gay Asian American to serve as an Article III federal judge. A daughter of Chinese immigrants. A daughter of Chinese immigrants, she earned her law degree from Georgetown University in 1986 and later joined the Department of Justice, where she eventually pursued the defining work of her career, combating human trafficking. As chief of the Civil Rights Unit for the United States Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of New York, she developed the office's anti-trafficking program, which prosecuted hundreds of traffickers while also rescuing and helping survivors. Her efforts earned her the Susan B. Anthony Award from the New York chapter of the National Organization of Women in 2007.
For her unwavering commitment to justice, civil rights, and the protection of society's most vulnerable, we, the President and trustees of Fordham University, in solemn convocation assembled, and in accord with the chartered authority bestowed upon us by the Regents of the University of the State of New York, declare Pamela K. Chen, Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, and that she may enjoy all the rights and privileges of this, our highest honor. We have issued these letters patent under our hand and under the corporate seal of the university on this, the 18th day of May in the year of our Lord, 2019.
It is my pleasure to introduce Judge Pamela Chen. You have heard about her groundbreaking work in fighting human trafficking. Since her appointment to the bench, Judge Chen has presided over a wide range of civil and criminal cases, including a lawsuit challenging New York's ban on the possession of nunchucks, a lawsuit alleging religious profiling of Muslims by the New York City Police Department, the tax fraud prosecution of former U.S. Congressman Michael Grimm, and the RICO prosecution of FIFA soccer officials. Of all aspects of her job, she is particularly inspired by the conducting of naturalization ceremonies. As she told the New York Law Journal, quote, "Nothing is more uplifting than administering the oath and pledge of allegiance to a group of new citizens and being able to tell them that the promise of democracy and freedom that this country was built on is real and makes it possible for a child of immigrants like me to achieve his or her dreams." Judge Chen currently participates in numerous community outreach and education programs, including pipeline programs such as the Sonia and Celia Sotomayor Judicial Internship Program, of which she is a board member, and the New York City Bar Association's Enhanced Diversity in the Profession Committee to increase the numbers of minorities, including members of the LGBTQ community in the legal profession and the judiciary. Ladies and gentlemen, Judge Pamela Chen.
You know, too bad this isn't like the appellate court where you can lower the whole podium. So sorry, folks back there. Believe me, I'm back here behind this podium. I hope you can hear me. Thank you, Dean Diller, for that very kind introduction. I do want to start off by setting the record straight. I am not going to pay off the student loan debt of every graduate here today. Not happening. I'm sorry about that. Dean Diller, faculty, family, friends, and most importantly, members of the Fordham class of 2019, thank you for the honor of speaking at your commencement ceremony today. I also want to thank Fordham for the honorary degree that I've just been given, and I'm humbled to receive, and for letting me wear this fabulous regalia, as it is called. If there's one thing I've learned since becoming a judge, it's that it's really great to wear a robe. Don't you all agree? The robe makes you look super fancy and important, and people stand up whenever you enter a room wearing one, just like what happened to you today. Plus, the robe hides all manner of fashion sins, something to keep in mind when you're planning your careers. Now, let me also thank the inspiring group of Fordham graduates who generously met with me a few months ago to share their thoughts about what you might want to hear at today's commencement ceremony. Thank you, Tanya, Patrick, Hannah, Andrew, Pratika, Jesse, Rebecca, Yena, and Wendy. Your thoughts and insights were most appreciated. And finally, I have to thank Cody, one of my fabulous law clerks, for his invaluable contributions to this address. Now, before I begin my speech, I want all of us to pause and take in this moment. I am sure you graduates have a million thoughts racing through your minds right now, but I want you to quiet your minds and put aside all of those distractions for a moment. I want you to really take in what you have accomplished, what you have achieved through your sheer determination, hard work, and intellect. You have earned a Juris Doctor degree. Despite those moments of self-doubt, despair, or perhaps sheer terror you may have had thinking about, how am I going to get through this test, through this oral argument, through this paper, through this class? You have made it. You are here today. Let it sink in. Feel proud of yourselves and your classmates. Indulge in this proud moment. I know that all of your family and friends are. Now, when Dean Diller asked me several months ago to be the commencement speaker, I decided that I needed a thematic vehicle, something that would make you remember this speech. The theme came to me one day as I was having lunch with my law clerks. As has happened with every set of law clerks I've ever had, one of them quoted a line from Mean Girls, the iconic movie of the millennial generation, currently being reprised as a musical on Broadway. Professor Neustadt, maybe there's an opportunity for you yet to get that Tony. And it hit me. This is how I'll make this speech memorable. I figured that either Mean Girls will serve as a helpful mnemonic device for you to remember all the nuggets of wisdom that I'm about to impart, or you'll remember that at your law school graduation, some crackpot got up there and talked about Mean Girls. Either way, you'll remember. Now, fear not, Dean Deller, I'm not going to make this speech memorable by quoting the many R-rated lines from Mean Girls. And as a spoiler alert, I'll let you know that much of what I'm going to tell you, you've already heard. Perhaps the saying, great minds think alike, will come to mind. However, my speech will be the only one to which you can attach the hashtag Mean Girls Fordham Commencement 2019. So why did I choose Mean Girls as my thematic vehicle? It's not because it allows me to say, I'm not like a regular judge, I'm a cool judge. Nor is it because it's set in Evanston, right next to Skokie, Illinois, where I grew up. I chose Mean Girls because the central messages of the movie are deeply relevant to today's occasion. And they speak to the challenges that all of you face as you embark on your careers in the law. First of all, Mean Girls is all about girl power. In the movie, the women are the wisest and most admirable characters, as you may remember. Mean Girls delivers a message that women rock. This message is especially appropriate for today's ceremony because this school year, as you know, marks 100 years of women at Fordham Law. Truly cause for celebration. Think of how far we as a society and this law school have come since 1918, when the first class of female students was admitted to Fordham Law School. In 1918, there were only 8 female law students compared to 312 men. Today, you, the class of 2019, are 58% women. That is truly remarkable. That is real progress. At the same time, we all know about the injustices and inequality that women have suffered and continue to suffer globally and in this country, especially in the workplace. I'm sure that most of you have seen at least one of the movies currently out about the notorious RBG, or you simply know about the remarkable career of Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg fighting for equal rights for women in the workplace. That was over 40 years ago when she began, and we still haven't achieved that equality. Recent data shows that today women still only make 79 cents for every dollar that men make, and this gender pay gap is even wider for women of color. So despite the substantial progress that has been made toward achieving equality for women, there is clearly much more that needs to be done. But it's not just about achieving gender equality. It must be our collective mission to ensure equal access and fairness for everyone, regardless of gender, race, ethnicity, religion, sexual orientation, and sexual identity. As the next generation of leaders, we are counting on you, the Fordham Law Class of 2019, to work towards true equality and access for all, whether it's in the corporate boardroom, halls of academia, highest offices of government, or wherever your career takes you. So, nugget of wisdom number 1, remember, women deserve to be the stars of the movie, and so does everybody else. Now, Mean Girls delivers up another important message that is universal, and it is this, and you heard it a moment ago. We as a society have to listen to and try to understand one another, appreciate others' perspectives, and empathize with what others may be going through. The movie communicates this message through the revelation that the titular Mean Girls of the movie, the popular girls who are called the Plastics, have been keeping a burn book filled with vicious and unsubstantiated gossip about virtually every student and teacher at the school. The disclosure of the burn book and its contents shreds the social fabric of the school, causing students to break out into tears and fights in the hallways. To stop the chaos, all the female students are called to the gymnasium, where Tina Fey, who plays Ms. Norbury, the school's math teacher, forces the girls to talk through their disputes with each other and then signifies their new beginnings with trust falls. How many of you remember that scene? All right. Through this process of confession and reconciliation, the girls end up achieving a measure of peace in the aftermath of the burn book going public. In today's polarized times, with the instantaneousness and superficiality of social media, it feels like a constant stream of burn book material is being released every day. And this material is often accepted as sagacity or truth without critical analysis. One of the consequences is that many people come to fast and inflexible judgments without ever engaging with someone who has a different view or has in-depth or firsthand knowledge about the topic or the issue. We seem to be losing the ability to listen to each other and debate in a civil manner with anyone who doesn't agree with us. But it's important for us all to have our gymnasium moment, perhaps appropriate that we're here, and force ourselves to listen to each other and hear each other out. There will, of course, be people with whom you might never agree, but we have to, as one of my mentors once said, learn to disagree well. Despite the popular reputation that lawyers have for being argumentative, I believe that our profession actually provides some of the greatest models for disagreeing well. For example, Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor points to her chummy relationship with Justice Neil Gorsuch as proof that the Supreme Court can be an example of how to disagree agreeably. Indeed, being able to disagree agreeably is the key to achieving a just, fair, and peaceful society. It is a foundation of our justice system, which was designed to maximize the opportunity for debate and dissent within an ordered and civil structure. This system, which provides process and legitimacy to the resolution of all types of disputes, is the foundation on which the rule of law is built. As has been said, the rule of law has never been more important than it is now. It has been and must continue to be the glue that holds our society together. You are now the guardians of our system of justice, the defenders of the rule of law. I, your family and friends, and the faculty of this great institution are counting on you to restore and preserve civility and respect for differing opinions and to protect the rule of law. So, nugget number 2, listen to one another, even with those with whom you disagree. You'll learn something. And it's way better than having to do trust falls in a high school gymnasium. Then there is a climactic prom scene in Mean Girls. Those of you who have seen the movie will remember that this is where the movie's protagonist, Katie Heron, played by Lindsay Lohan, is named prom queen. Drama and competitiveness have led up to the moment when Katie is crowned the queen. When she wins, Katie knows how many of her fellow students had hoped to receive the crown that she now holds. So what does she do with it? She breaks it into pieces and shares it with the other students in the crowd, proclaiming them all to be winners. Corny, yes, I know, but it also contains an important message for today's occasion. Right now, you are like Katie Heron. You've won the prom. We are here today to recognize you as special, as having achieved something incredible. But you didn't get here by yourself. Of course, you're all smart and have worked hard, but without everyone here today and everyone who has rooted for you and helped you along the way, you would not be here today. Queens, kings, and theys of the prom. And it's not just your family and friends that you have to thank, but it's the professors, supervisors, and colleagues who've taken the time to mentor you and give you advice. The philanthropists who established the scholarship programs that helped some of you go to law school or leave with a little less debt. It's the visionaries whom you may never meet, but who've inspired you nonetheless by the example they've set. Now it's up to you to take the crown you've been given, more accurately a mortarboard, and tear it up and share it. By that I mean use the knowledge, skills, privilege, and status that you are being given to improve the lives of others, to make us all winners, as Katie tells her classmates. Find a way to give back to society, whether it's dedicating your career to public service or government service, doing pro bono, volunteer legal work, mentoring a grade school student, or coaching a high school mock trial team. Give back. You've been granted the privilege of being a lawyer because others before you have given back. Now you owe it to them, and you honor them by giving back to your community. So, nugget number 3, don't tear up your mortarboard, especially if it's rented, but find a way to give back. Finally, perhaps the most important message of Mean Girls, and the one that I hope you'll find particularly meaningful today, it is this: To find happiness and success, you have to be authentic. You have to be true to yourself. Don't be a plastic. Katie Heron spends most of the movie pretending to be one of the plastics. She does so because associating with them seems to raise her social status, thereby easing her transition into her new school. But ultimately, being a plastic forces Katie to give up the things and people that make her truly happy. Her friends Janice and Ian, her relationship with Aaron, and her role as a superstar in the school's Mathletes Club. When confronted with her role in contributing to the Hateful Burn book, however, Katie takes the opportunity to recalibrate, which leads the other members of the Plastics to do the same and find greater fulfillment in their lives. How is that message relevant to today's occasion? As you all prepare to join the legal profession, you are faced with decisions about what you want to do with your career and how you want it to evolve. You've undoubtedly been bombarded throughout law school with different and sometimes conflicting messages about how to find happiness in the law. Work at this firm, apply for this fellowship, make partner, and so on. But as Katie discovered during her time as a plastic, the quickest way to find yourself adrift is to allow others to define your priorities and values. So whether you are marching off today to big law, after today to big law, hanging out your own shingle, joining a corporation as in-house counsel, or going into public interest, do a periodic gut check and ask yourself, am I happy and fulfilled doing what I'm doing? Am I still learning and engaged? Am I appreciated and valued? What will make all of those things a reality is following a career path that lets you stay true to who you are. Your job doesn't have to be prestigious. You don't have to have a fancy title. You don't have to be saving the world. It doesn't even have to be in the law. I imagine that right now, all of the parents out there who've sunk a lot of money into their child's law school education are ready to storm the stage. But the bottom line is that you should work doing something that you wake up every day. You should work at something you wake up every day genuinely excited to do. Follow your heart. Perhaps, Professor Newton, you would have had a lot of Tonys by now if you'd had a reckless commencement speaker like me. Now, I'm sure that many of you are thinking it's bad advice or just plain crazy to tell you to follow your heart, even if it leads you away from the predictability and stability of the well-trod path. But as you progress through your careers, you will likely find that your priorities change or that you are tempted to take a huge leap and try something new or totally different. My advice, just as your Adjunct Professor of the Year, is to take that leap. Is it risky? You bet. But sometimes embracing risk is the only way to get the reward. While I doubt that there are any statistics on this, I imagine that if you surveyed people who are successful in their careers, and by that I mean feeling genuinely fulfilled by what they do, most, if not all of them, would tell you that it was serendipity and their willingness to take a chance on something unexpected that led them to career happiness. As you sit here today thinking about your futures, you are no doubt trying to plot out your legal careers without realizing that luck and chance will probably be amongst the most decisive factors in your career and your lives. No amount of planning can fully account for the dynamic changes you will experience over the course of your lives. In fact, I'd be willing to wager big money, and for the record, federal judges don't make big money, but the majority of you will end up doing something you could never have anticipated, sitting here today. I speak from personal experience. I went to law school determined to become a public defender. For you movie buffs, my inspiration was the movie Gideon's Trumpet, starring Henry Fonda, about the Supreme Court decision Gideon versus Wainwright, which established the constitutional right to a lawyer in serious felony criminal cases. But I wound up a dozen years later working as a federal prosecutor, a job that I absolutely loved, which undoubtedly led to my becoming a judge, something I really could never have anticipated sitting where you are today. So for those of you who haven't figured out yet what your dream job is, do not despair. Trust that you are on a path that, while not as smooth or predictable as you might like, will ultimately lead to your fulfillment, happiness, and real success, so long as you stay true to yourself. Right now, you may perceive only a few career pathways as a lawyer, But the vantage point you have today doesn't allow you to see all the branches in those pathways, the inflection points that will reveal themselves to you as you progress through your lives and careers. You will come to these inflection points often, and each time you do a gut check and decide if you want to make a turn onto one of those alternative branches that you might never have considered before. At every potential turn, make sure that you choose a pathway that allows you to be your most authentic self and to feel fulfilled in your work. So for your fourth and final nugget, and it'll be a miracle if this Tam stays on my head. So your fourth and final nugget, be true to yourself. Don't wed yourself to a particular career path, and embrace serendipity and change. Do that and things are going to turn out just fine. Here you are, Fordham Law Class of 2019, ready to fledge the proverbial nest and take your first solo flight into the professional world as lawyers. What you've accomplished these past 3 years is monumental. What you will do next is even more exciting to think about. Remember that the wind beneath those powerful wings of yours as you take flight are the incredible education, training, and experiences that you received here at Fordham. You also take with you the many friendships and relationships you've built here. These relationships, grounded in your shared experiences at Fordham, will survive distance and time. Cherish these relationships, nurture them, protect them, and use them well. They can be the key to your safe passage through your legal careers and life. So let me close by quoting one of the few lines from Mean Girls that I think I can safely say at this event. I think everybody looks like royalty today. Congratulations, Fordham Law Class of 2019.
Thank you so much, Judge Chen. I don't think anyone would have predicted that this commencement address would have been based on Mean Girls, and yet it worked perfectly, so thank you. We're now going to be joined again by Professor Danielle Cook, who will read the names of the graduates who are receiving awards determined by nomination or essay submission.
It's my honor to announce the graduation awards. The graduation awards are described on page 8 of the program. Not all the graduation awards will be announced today because many of them are based on GPA or exams, etc., many of which have not been graded yet. But for the record, I graded my last exam on the subway coming up here, so I don't know if that counts, but at any rate, starting. And so the other thing is, I often say hold your applause, but nobody does, so we should just quickly clap for the person who wins the award, right? Okay. So the Abramowski Award is presented to a member of the graduating class in recognition of outstanding performance in trial advocacy, and this year we have two, Vasiliki Sakalaridis, and Mary Catherine Simeon. And I am going to apologize in advance for mangling names, so I'll just do the best I can. The Class of 1911 Award is presented for the best essay submitted by a student in the graduating class on a legal subject designated by the dean, which this year was about the rule of law, and the winner is Casey Adams. The Joseph Crowley Award is presented to the graduating JD who has shown academic achievement and concern for others as demonstrated by participation in volunteer activities, named after Joe Crowley, a well-regarded, famous professor here. And that is Caitlin Hickey is the winner. The Mary Daly Prize in Legal Ethics is awarded to the graduating student who publishes the most significant writing in professional responsibility, and the award goes to Pratika Prasad. The Dean's Special Achievement Award is given to students in the graduating class who have made a significant and distinctive contribution to the law school community. This year, the award has been awarded by the Dean to 3 students, Danielle Cook, Miyoshi Lamothaim, and Johanna Sanders. The Donald J. Fierick Prize in Labor Law is awarded to the student who submits the best paper on a subject in labor law, and the winner is Ricky Levine. The Philip Fusco Memorial Award is presented by the Student Bar Association to a student who participated in the intramural athletic program while demonstrating dedication, enthusiasm, good sportsmanship, and academic achievement. That award is to Robert Beecher. We have a new award this year, the Kimberly Greer Singer Award in honor of Kimmy Greer, who is a student of a few years ago who was tragically run down over December. It's awarded to a member of the National Moot Court competition team who possesses outstanding oral advocacy and legal writing skills, as well as demonstrated an interest in teaching or mentoring students. And the winner of this award, the first time given, is to Kayla Giampalo. The Walter B. Kennedy Award, presented to a member of the Fordham Law Review in honor of extraordinary service and commitment. That is awarded to two people this year, Andrew Kirschenbaum and Sylvia Altruder. The Donald Magnetti Award, presented to a member of the graduating class in recognition of outstanding public commitment and contribution to those beyond the law school community. The award winner this year is Lena Whitty. Lawrence J. McKay Prize is awarded to the graduating JD students who represented the law school or the National Moot Court competition, and that's Philip Job, Kayla Giampalo, and Bina Nai. The Keith Miller Award is presented to a member of the graduating class who has demonstrated unselfish dedication to the Moot Court program, and that is to Hillary McDonald. The Adele Monaco Memorial Award is presented to a member of the graduating class in the evening division who has made a positive impact on the lives of evening division students. That's awarded to two people this year, Akila Brown and Ashwin Iyengar. The Ann Moynihan Award is presented to members of the graduating class in recognition of outstanding performance in the clinical program. That goes to the Tax Law Reform Clinic team, which is 4 people, Elena Aquila, Jesse Boas, Gabriel Kornblau, Samantha Zuckerman. The Monsignor James Murray Prize for Achievement in Public Service is given to a graduating Fordham Law student committed to a career in public service. That award is to Leon Fornelli. The National Association of Women Lawyers has presented to the outstanding JD graduate who has demonstrated academic achievement, contributed to the advancement of women in the legal profession, and earned the respect of the law school community. The award goes to Kara Krakauer. The Parchimovsky Siegelman Student Graduation Prize is awarded to the graduating student who produced the best work of scholarship published in one of Fordham Law School's journals. There were many excellent ones that we read through. The award goes to Catherine Shin. The Robert Renzulia Prize in Criminal Law, presented to the graduating student who has excelled in the area of criminal law and will undertake a practice in criminal practice. That award goes to Dana Macbeth. And finally, the Joreen Frankel-Robbie Prize is for advanced legal research and excellence in that area, and that award goes to Samuel Wiener. Congratulations to all of you, and now you can shake your legs and come on up here and get your diplomas.
Thank you. So now this is the moment you've been waiting very patiently for. We'll present the congratulatory letters to each graduate. The names of the graduates will be read by Assistant Dean Tony Yeager-Fine, Associate Dean Leah Hill, Professor Young J. Lee, and myself.
Ladies and gentlemen, our SJD and LLM students already hold law degrees, many from outside the United States. After the name of each degree recipient, I will indicate the country of the first degree in law. Recipients of the Doctor of Juridical Science degree, the highest degree awarded by the law school. Nasser Ali M. Al-Sheri, Saudi Arabia. G. Thomas Coggin, South Africa. Nemika Jha, India. Stephanie Keim, Germany. Gulen Soyaslan, Turkey. Zara Takshid, Iran. Shani Winder, Israel. Dylan Yeager, Canada. Now for our master degree recipients. Ladies and gentlemen, please hold your applause until all master degree candidates have been called. Recipients of the Master of Laws degree in Banking, Corporate, and Finance Law. Alejandro Albinana Arroyo, Spain. Elisa Alcaraz, U.S. Yusuf A. Alotman, Kuwait. Robin Anthony, who holds an additional concentration in corporate compliance from the U.S. Fatima Baghirzadeh, Iran. Andrea Battista, Italy. Anaïs Ben Hussein, France. Serge Bernard, Russia. Anne-Laure Bouin, France. Anna Busor, Ukraine. Juyun Chung, China. Noriseum Choi, Korea. Macarena Cuesta, Argentina. Chenji Du, China. Fatima Ezaguirre Carancio, Spain. Santiago Miguel Gonzalez Juste, Spain. Gonzalo Hierro Vietes, Spain. Mateo Hoyos, Colombia. Mu Wei Wang, New Zealand. Zia Kong, Korea. Yulia Kasai, Russia. John Kiridis, U.S. Lin Lin, China. David Manuel Magrana Ortiz, U.S. Daniela Marcos Baron, Brazil. Obrigada. Miriam Mosi, France. Apurva Nadkarni, India. Osvaldo Norte Sabino, Argentina. Sarah Priska Oberoi, Switzerland. Philip Petkovich, Belarus. Daniel Rios Zertuche Benito, Mexico. Francesca Chiara Sala, Italy. Shubhra Sharma, India. Samuel Lasri Sitnovetter, Brazil. Andrew Smith, UK. Hyun Ah-song, Korea. Nino Chuadze, Georgia. Jia Nangjong, China. Lei Shizhong, China. Rongrong Zheng, China. Sun Ying Zhao, with an additional concentration in U.S. law, China. Recipients of the Master of Laws degree in Corporate Compliance, Manasi Sarab Bagde, India. Miguel Carvalhos Pinheiro Atunes Maciel Musnik, Brazil. The longest name of any graduate. Nina Krum, Austria. Birgit Kurtz, U.S. Hongshe Liu, China. Cristiane Melo, Brazil. Shuji Nakamura, Japan. Leslie Carolina Peña Costa, Dominican Republic. Beatriz Picard, who holds an additional concentration in banking, corporate, and finance law, Brazil. Jelka Smallman, U.S. Mariko Shiratori, Japan. Hao Wu, China. Recipients of the Master of Laws degree in Fashion Law, Sandra A.R. Altilhaj, France. Carla Anderson Ohanessian, France. Alice Marie Bousseau, France. Michelle Jarou, Lebanon. Roxana Minhaji, U.S. Fiona Petito, Italy. Stacy St. Rose, U.S. Pauline Solès, France. Jonathan Andrew Yankelowitz, South Africa. Jung Yun Yu, Korea. Recipients of the Master of Laws degree in Intellectual Property and Information Technology Law, Wen Jinbao, China. Andrea L. Flink, U.S. Sarah Haddad, Australia. Simran Kasat, India. Su Wei Lu, China. Rohini Arvind Manik, U.S. Marin Nikolaev Marinov, Bulgaria. Tara C. Melson, with an additional concentration in banking, corporate, and finance law, U.S. Marie Yasmin Sanchez, Philippines. Kidding. Miriam Sommerfeld, Germany. Leila Tatwani, Saudi Arabia. Ashlesha Yogesh Baija, India. Melanie Therese Johanna van der Heyden, France. Recipients of the Master of Laws degree in International Business and Trade Law, Valeria Caputo Garcia, Spain. Ignacio Carnero Cuenca, Spain. Melanie Catenacci, Italy. Antonio Fatone, Italy. Joanna Dorota Iwanika, Poland. Chuan Jiang, China. Zhou Jiang, China. Tamar Katamads, Georgia. Bruna Marchioretto Rodriguez, Brazil. Marta Navarro, Spain. Van T. Nguyen, Vietnam. Ana Maria Quintana Cepeda, Colombia. Naminingan Name Tor, France. Claudio Andrés Valdivia, Chile. Michael Baz de Almeida, France. Marco Vichy, Italy. Recipients of the Master of Laws degree in International Dispute Resolution, Lorenza Del Nero, Italy. Anis Carasayer, France. Mohit Karwasra, India. Thomas Opong Fibiri from Ghana. James Papadakis, U.S. Elena Ruiz de Velasco Munoz, Spain. Marie Vienne de Valblanc, France. Recipients of the Master of Laws degree in International Law and Justice, Marie Angela Altier, France. Lucila Casado Ardisi, Argentina. Morvarid Michel Bagheri, U.S. Vincenzo De Bolini, Italy. Mariana Haddad, Italy. Joaquin Cayetano Hermoso Carrasco, Spain. Nandar Win Kher, Myanmar. Mimosa Konjusha, Macedonia. Wing Yi Kwan, UK. Miao Qing Liu, China. Philip Joseph McGovern, U.S. John Yaboa Mensah, Ghana. Isabel Montojo, Spain. Ion Pugh, Romania. Stephanie J. Rowe, UK. Arwa Mustafa Sharif, Saudi Arabia. Dean Seuss, France. Recipients of the Master of Laws degree in United States Law: Akash Antony, India. Olga Bainskaya, Belarus. Nikita Andreevich Barikin, Russia. Sheila Brankovic, Switzerland. Marisa Cassandra Sellis, UK. Valentine Depen, France. Lidio A. Duval, Dominican Republic. Angela Estrada, Colombia. Koki Fukanuma, Japan. Vivian Gonzalez, US. Federico Gonzalez Sejo, Spain. Jijen Han, China. Wei Wong, New Zealand. Ekaterina Ilyushova, Russia. Adriana Khalil Dayuto, Brazil. Najin Kim, Korea. Yvonne Lee Bach, Taiwan. Paula Strauss Maciel, Brazil. Quentin Marshall, France. Erica Maria Martini, UK. Melissa Jenny Ray Mateo, Dominican Republic. Zachary Evan Mazur, Brazil. Astrid Meslin, France. Victoria V. Mikhalyuk, Russia. You're welcome. Ani Papanyan, Armenia. Mandalena Prelashi, Italy. Frederica Pryor, Germany. Jolene Ramos Hurtado, Venezuela. Mala Rao, India. Bekir Sahin, Turkey. Nazmus Sakib, UK. Elena Selivanova, Belarus. Hong Seok Seo, Korea. Virali Kamlesh Shah, India. Won Young Song, Korea. Tomoko Yamazaki, Japan. Xin Zhou, China. Recipients of the Master of Studies degree in Corporate Compliance, Edilma Chen. Kanan Evran. Ji Guo. Elizabeth Hall Huan. Nihal Kapak. Lauren Marie Keene. It's a long wait. Claudia Kolodinska. Keisuke Kusaka. Brendan McElhaney. Marcelo Morales. Apurva Sandeep Shinde. Anna Lauren Sternberg. Recipients of the Master of Studies degree in Fashion Law, Luke Artiaga. Autumn Ashley Dalton. Taylor Dubell. Ariel Chantel Elia. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for the recipient of our master degrees.
Chelsea Brooke Abramowitz. Casey J. Adams. Daniel Z. Adeski. David Adler. Miriam Agaiva. Shabia Actor. Edgar O. Aliferoff. Sonia Aladad. Emily Allen. Elizabeth Lee Altman. Sylvia Lara Altruda. Sean Michael Alchula. Jennifer Angulo. Elena Catherine Aquila. Nita, Anissa, and Mary. Jared Ishmaru Arkari. Evan Vincent Arfuso. Thomas Joseph Arning. Beth Ashbridge. Nicholas Ask. Cesar L. Avila. Lilia Avshalomova. Julia S. Baez Valentin. Julian B. Bannister. Samantha Barron. Shira Alexandra Baratz. Eliza Ariana Barocas. Thomas E. Barron. Anthony Barsanian. Austin Thaddeus Baxter. Robert Beecher III. His congratulatory degree is being presented by Benjamin Tucker, class of 1981. Ruhi Behal. Meggie Balegu. Gilad M. Bengio. Michael Andrew Benison. Rachel Berger. David I. Berman. Claire Alice Bierke. Jessie Rachel Boas. John Bradshaw, Jr. Patrick William Brady. Carolyn Branch. Akila M. Brown. Sarah Ann Buckholtz. Lauren M. Burgos. Natasha Butalia. Jennifer Ashley Butwin. Her congratulatory degree is being presented by her father, Brad Butwin, class of 1985. Joseph Frank Calabresi. Vanessa Costello. Michael N. Castiglione. Alexa Rose Soneglia. Mallory A. Chandler. Zainab A. Chima. Beverly A. Chang. Nevin Chetri. Wendy Chiapicchio. Rebecca Arachu. Sabrina Chowdhury. Chun Jun Chung. Brian Cipolla. Hannah J. Cohen. Mayor Cohen. His congratulatory degree is being presented by his father, Gary Cohen, class of 1973. Jackson Asher Cole. Brian P. Collins. Danielle S. Cook. Bianca M. Corrado. Sean Michael Corrado. Christina A. Costello. Tyler Brenner Crawford. Douglas Michael Crockett. Stephen Maxwell Addison Cugliare. Chen Lu Sway. Chloe Rose Curtis. Alessandra M. Dagger-Mangin. Glenn J. Delakian II. Olaweyumisi Olulade Danmola. Ariel J. Darvish. Congratulations. Tyler John Brady Dash. Jonathan Brandon Dean. Andrew Detter. Sarah E. Delaney. Matthew S. DeLuca. Sarah J. Dennis. Jonathan Garvin DeRico. Christian J. Dieno. Brianna Elizabeth DeSenza. Charles Andrew Dioria. Philip Martin Dorn. Jessica Ann Drake. Jared Scott Dubb. Colleen Cashman Dunn. Lindsay E. Ecker. Thomas F. Elistando. Jessica Claire Engel. Alexander Robert Fagella. Sanzana Farouk. Fazah Fatima. Zara Isabella Leibowitz Feingold. Leanne Fernelli. Alexandra Adia Fort. Samantha Wendy Frankel. Brian Michael Freed. Allison Rose Funari. Ahmed Gadella. Tatiana Nicole Galbrecht. Chase Eric Gallerman. Alina V. Gastkova. Mitri Gelfand. Eton Y. Gettenberg. Roshni Ghosh. Demetrios F. Giancakumos. George Alexander Giacomis. Kayla Marie Giampalo. Joanna L. Gilberti. Kayla Gilfillan. Alexa Danielle Gomez. Rachel Lauren Goot. Lauren Jean Gorab. Maura B. Grealish. Mary C. Greathead. Jeffrey Ian Greenwood. Theodora Hope Grusecki. Darren M. Gudera. Nicole Alexandra Gunara. Abdul Mumin Hafiz. Grace M. Hader. Savada Hakopian. Jeremy S. Hale. Carolyn Lucille Hall.
Mabel Hall. Benjamin Max Halperin. Christopher Hammerski. Patrick H. Ho. Sana Hashmi. Caitlin Rose Hickey. Su Young Hong. Yana Hong. Eric Hornbeck. Jordan Horowitz. Daniel Logan Humphrey. John Francis Yafaldano. Diana Imbert. Ashwin D. Yangar. Philip B. Job. Kimberly Jones. Cindy Khan. Fidan Karamli. Danae Sebasti Casotis. Joshua Katz. Harrison Ross K. Priyanka Kazi. Jeffrey Daniel Kelly. Joshua Kelly. Joseph Thomas Kessler III. Sonia Sanjay Kandekar. Michael P. Kiley. His letter will be presented by his brother, Kevin Kiley, class of 2015. Edward J. Kim. Gloria Kim. Youngjin Kim. Andrew Kirschenbaum. Adina Gail Kleiner. Matthew Knowles. Adam Gabriel Kochman. Leo Corman. Gabrielle B. Kornblau. Kara Krakauer. Tracy Krasny. Elizabeth S. Krause. Robert Brandon Krieger. Hillary B. Krog. Cameron Richard Coomer. Myung-Hoon John Kwok. Young-Sun Kwan. David Lacker. Carly Madeline Lagrateria. Miyoshi Carla Lamath Ame. Alexandra Ann Lane. Ricky Levine. Fanny Law. Matthew Harris Lawrence. Elise Lee. Eunice W. Lee. Sang-Soo Lee. Krisha Lanzo. Her letter will be presented by her mother, Christine Lanzo, class of 1985. Dov Samuel Livavi. Deborah Ann Levine. Mary Kate Levinus. Ella Lavieva. Natasha Levy.
Rachel Lynn Liebert. Evan Lin. Shu-In Lin. Alex Elizabeth Lipton. Alexis Paige Lisser. Her letter will be presented by her mother, Fran Loft, class of 1987. Leo Liu. Robert Blue. Ye Liu. Anthony K. Lombardo. Jennifer Lund. Shijin Law. Robin Cassidy Luzon. Matthew Alexander Lyons. Andrew J. Malakoff. He is graduating with a joint degree as a JD and an MBA. Rachel Julie Manning. Benjamin Mantle. Keith Harris Morantz. His letter will be presented by his father, Neil Morantz, class of 1985. Joelle Ann Marchand. Sam Margolis. Aaron Marine. Cynthia Ellen Martins. Emily Ann Massaloni. Aaron Brandel Matthews. Marie Matusek. Michael Mazzullo. Michael Philip Matthews. Dana Kyle Macbeth. Tara McCarney. Ellen McCormick. Hillary Rose McDonald. Jeffrey Robert McEachern. Catherine Elizabeth McMahon. Ezra Medina. Sophia Mello. Geraldine Mena. Adam Mangler. Rebecca Miller. Brendalise Minaya Ruiz. Anisha Merchandani. Grace Nicole Monroy. Nicholas Montemagno. Sebastian James Moss. Jonathan Aaron Moy. Natalia Mazlayev. Vasna Naidu Chinsami. Bina Nai. Michael Leonidas Nestor. Laura N. Nguyen. Sarah Nicole Nordstrand. Taylor Norton. Austin O'Brien. John O'Brien. His letter will be presented by his grandfather, Eugene F. Murphy, class of 1959. Matthew O'Brien. Deborah O'Galley. William Lawrence Ogden. Aidan Donald O'Leary. Sinar Oni. Michelle Marianne Orge. Elizabeth Ostashevsky. Alexander Jordan Panish. Christina M. Papillo. Ryan Partlow. William Gorman Pasonante II. Krina Patel. Vikram Paul. Shemesla Pavlikovsky. Nadav Pearl.
Christopher Devon Pedro. Reese John Pelly. Andrew Thomas Petrick. Oliver Marcus Phillipson. William L. Pirati. Eric J. Pons. Eva Popa. Pratika Prasad. Nicole Elizabeth Price. Shika Mukesh Prasnani. Shade I. Quayle. Daniel Philip Rabinowitz. Jonian Rafty. Nicole Paraskavi Rallis. Her congratulatory letter will be presented by her mother, Irene Katulis, class of 1988. Marissa A. Rametta. Anna Roseo. Trisha Bergen Riley. Her letter will be presented by her father, J.B. Riley, class of 1987. Roland C. Reimers. John Lewis Reklitis. Alexander Q. Reynoso. Emily Jean Ritchie. Lauren Ann Riddell. Kathleen C. Riley. Mario Riojas Ramirez. Michael Anthony Rivera. Ariel Esther Robbins Rothman. Max Stewart Roberts. Christian David Racotagliate. Melissa Annabella Romaine. Elizabeth Rooney. Her congratulatory letter will be presented by her father, Tim Rooney, class of 1994. Patrick J. Rooney. Jennifer Beth Rosenblatt. Emily Ann Rosenthal. Lamisha Ross Tiggett. Jason David Rosbrook. Andrew A. Rozo. Diana Rashova. Valerie A. Sakalarides. Daniel Solomon. Mary Charmel Morales Samonte. Margaret S. Sanborn. Johanna Rachel Sanders. Stephen Donald Santini. Nicole M. Sauer. Alexa A. Savino. Matthew N. Schlanger. Saul B. Schuster. No. Daniel A. Schwalbe. Abigail F. Schwartz. Ariel B. Seidner. Jonathan J. Seguros. Morgan E. Schaefer. David Z. Shaffron. His congratulatory letter will be presented by his father, Bernard Shaffron, class of 1977. Anmesh Shah. Erin Elizabeth Shahinfar. Craig Shepard. Zachary M. Sherman. Catherine Shin. William H. Sykes. Molly H. Silverstein. Mary Catherine Simeone. Anna Claire Singer. Joseph Stephen Slokowski. Juana Porto Rocha Suarez. Jonathan R. Soffer. Sebastian Suchet. Oksana Sutuz. Milan J. Sova. Andrew Bogardas Spears. Meredith B. Spellman. Her congratulatory letter will be presented by her father, William Spellman, class of 1979. Catherine A. Stack. Caitlin Stark. Robert Staroselski. Serena Rappaport. Jonathan I. Stemple. Alexandra A. Stefanos. Justin A. Stone. Galen Friedrich Stump. Chandler Elizabeth Sturm. Michael Nicholas Sudano. Juliana R. Suleimanov. Shaul Sussman. Arun Swain. Allison Nancy Sweeney. Michael Suko. Eliel Alto Feder Talo. Gaetano T. Taormina. Benjamin Zev Teitelbaum. Mayor Teitelbaum. Vincent James Tennant. Jacob Tesh. A. Rick Tobin. Dagim Tillahan. Margaret P. Tomlinson. Tracy Lee Tomlinson. Elise Gabrielle Toscano. V. Tuong Tran. Vani Upadhyaya. Manpreet Kaur Upol. Elizabeth Bella Uretsky. Bianca M. Van Duzen. Audrey Van Dyne. Anthula Vasiliou. Iris M. Velasquez. Austin Bernstein Vernon. Daniela A. Villatoro. Christina Tomas Voisin. Zachary Ryan Wasserstein. Stefan M. Wozni. Adam C. Weinberg. Samuel J. Wiener. Janine Gloria Patricia Weisenbeck. Alexander Weiss. Mayor David Weiss. Lena Mahmood Whitty. Andrew Wichter. Haley Willis. Richard Wong. Wei Wu. Drujing Wu. Avram Yankelowitz. Christy Ye. Mina Yu. Junzi Yu. Melissa M. Zacharias. Helena Zhang. Shoshan Drew. Samantha Shepard Zuckerman. And I now present to you the class of 2019. Please remain standing for the closing prayer, which will be given by Burton Vysotsky, the Appleman Professor of Midrash and Interreligious Studies and the Louis Stein Director of the Finkelstein Institute for Religion and Social Studies at the Jewish Theological Seminary, and Hussein Rashid, an independent scholar and founder of Islamicate.
I'm Rabbi Bert Vysotsky, and I serve as the Lou Stein Director of the Finkelstein Institute at the Jewish Theological Seminary. I had the privilege of visiting the Vatican last week, where we had an audience with the Holy Father. I bring you congratulations and blessings from Pope Francis, who also graduated from a Jesuit university. I wish you all a Ramadan Kareem, blessings for the holy month of Ramadan. In the Jewish calendar, we are between the holidays of Passover and Shavuot, Pentecost, or in language you graduates might relate to, we are between years of slavery and a life in the law. Our covenant with God is a fervent belief in the rule of law. I close with the traditional Jewish blessing of celebration. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehachianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Praise to you, God, our sovereign, who rules the universe. We thank you for giving us life and sustaining us and enabling us to reach this joyous occasion. And let us say, Amen.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. May God's peace, mercy, and blessings be upon you today. I want to join my colleague, Rabbi Vysotsky, in wishing you Ramadan Mubarak, and it feels weird saying that, but this is New York. I'll follow the rabbi. I want to offer a short reflection from the Quran and a short prayer to send you on your way. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu kunu qawwamina bil qisti shuhuda lillahi wa la ala anfusikum al waladaini wal aqrabina in yakun ghaniya aw faqran fa'alahu awla bihima fala tatabul hawa an ta'adilu وإن تلوى أو تريد فإن الله كان بما تعملون خبرا. Sadaqallahu al-Azim. I take refuge in God from Satan the accursed, in the name of God, the most compassionate, the most merciful. O you who have faith, be maintainers of justice and witnesses for the sake of God, even if it should be against yourselves and your parents and your near relatives, whether it be against someone rich or poor, for God has a greater right over them all. So do not follow your desires, lest you should be unfair, and if you distort the testimony or disregard it, God is indeed well aware of what you do. The truth is from God. O Lord, let us always stand for justice, let us walk in justice, let us fill the world with justice. O Lord, let our laws be full of justice, let us be guided by justice. Let us not worship law as an idol, let us use the law as a tool for justice. O Lord, let justice reign as a mercy to the world. Let people see us as a hope and a blessing. Let us commence to carry the standard of justice. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you both very much. So I have two final requests. First is to ask the family members and the guests of the graduates to please remain in your seats while those on the stage as well as the graduates process out. And second, for the graduates, after you've taken pictures around campus, please remember to return your caps and gowns to the Herff Jones personnel, who will be near the concession stands located under the bleachers at the entrance to the Lombardi Center. And please join me in one final congratulations.